Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party and the Punjab governor are locked in a high voltage battle over the holding of a special assembly session. I'm Barkhadat, you're with the Mojo story. Our focus today is on this big political confrontation that is building up in Punjab. The Aam Aadmi Party wants to hold a special session of the assembly. This is their second attempt to do so. The Punjab governor says that he is allowed legally to ask what is the agenda of this session. The ARP is retorting, saying, even if we want to discuss the Bollywood wives, we're free to do so. It's none of your business. The governor is citing the law in a letter. The Aam Aadmi Party is accusing the governor of being a proxy for the BJP that it says has unveiled what it calls Operation Lotus to try and buy its legislators. The Aam Aadmi Party, it's widely believed, wants to actually hold a trust vote to demonstrate all over again its majority. Remember, the Aam Aadmi Party won with a historical mandate in the recently concluded assembly elections. How do we decode this confrontation? We thought that these things only happen in Delhi, where Delhi, of course, is not a full state. But it seems that even in the state of Punjab, notwithstanding this historic mandate, this is the confrontation that is brewing. How will it pan out? We'll find out on the 27th of this month, which is when that special session of the assembly is scheduled. Let me introduce our guests on the program today. We're joined by Sandeep Ghosh, who's, of course, a political analyst, a commentator, and a friend of Mojo Story, whether he wants to be one or not. We have decided that for him. Great to see you after a gap of time, Sandeep. Also welcoming back to the program, Punjab BJP leader, Dr. Dharinder Tayal. Good to see you again, sir. And also joining us is Chandrasuta Dogra, a journalist who has since joined the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab and is in fact heading its media and communications wing. So great to see all of you on the program. And in fact, Chandra, let me get started with you. What is actually happening here? Because, the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann went on Twitter to say that what the governor was citing was a mere formality. The governor in response is saying, look, I am going by the law. The Punjab government isn't being advised correctly. What's really at stake here? And why is what you're going to discuss in the assembly session something that you simply can't share? The governor can't control what you discuss. He's asking you what you're going to discuss.
Yes. You see, it's not really a question of whether the government can share or cannot share. But what is very much visible is that there is a clear and a determined attempt to undermine a democratically elected government in Punjab by misusing the office of the governor. Now, the governor is openly fingering this democratically elected government at the behest of the BJP, and I'll tell you why. Because earlier, governors used to respect the primacy of the legislature, respect the right of the legislature to convene a session of the assembly. Previous chief ministers have often decided just one evening before that tomorrow we are going to hold a session of the assembly, and no governor has ever questioned them about it or asked them what is the legislative business. It's just it's just a formality, as the chief minister has pointed out. But here we have a governor who wants to know every little thing, which is why, and this has never happened in 75 years, no governor has ever asked, never asked the legislature, never asked the chief minister that what is going to be your business, what do you propose to do in the assembly whenever it is the assembly that you propose to convene. So this is where the doubts come up. This is why there is unease within the party as well as the government or legislative party, particularly, that there is something fishy. Why is this governor in particular fingering the party? See, now on the 20th, now I'll just take you back and explain the timeline for your
Hmm.
viewers. On the 20th of September, when the government intimated to the governor that we wish to hold a special session of the assembly for a confidence vote, the governor actually approved it and said, "Fine, go ahead with it." And then once four opposition leaders approached him and said, "No, you cannot hold this, etc., etc." They raised an objection to this session, and then the governor went back and said, and then started quoting rules, etc., why it cannot be done, which which is why this whole doubt about his the office, the intentions of the office of the governor. This is why all this has come up, and now once the legislature party again decided, all right, well, we want to hold this session on
Yeah.
the
Can I,
27th,
can I jump
and
in
now
here? Can I
again this
jump
has
in?
come up. Sure.
Can I jump in here? One of the things that the governor cited was the fact that there was a belief that this session was to hold a confidence motion, and that he argued that there was no specific sort of rule book for that you could bypass the governor on that. So let me ask you clearly: is the intent of this assembly session to pass a confidence motion, and if so, why? This is not a closely sort of structured assembly, right? This is an assembly with a clear majority for the Aam Aadmi Party. So
Absolutely.
what's actually going on
Yet,
here?
yet you find leaders from the Congress as well as from the BJP saying that, well, so many of your MLAs are prepared to jump ship. One, which actually negates their stand that, oh no, we are not doing Operation Lotus, etc., which actually contradicts their own stand. Now there are about 10 to 12 MLAs of the Aam Aadmi Party who have received calls, who are receiving offers that if you jump ship, this is what awaits you,
Yeah,
etc., etc. And these are things which are being said not just by the Aam Aadmi Party; these are being said also by the opposition. So the very same opposition, which is today saying that, oh, why does the Aam Aadmi Party want to prove its majority when it has a brute majority, it has so many MLAs, etc. The same leaders are saying, oh, so many people are prepared to jump ship. So there is a
yeah.
contradiction. There is something fishy. The waters are certainly murky,
Okay,
which is
I
why
want to
the
bring
party
in.
wants to prove once and for
Yeah.
all that, listen, all our MLAs are with us.
So, of course, Dr. Dhirinder Tayal, what is intriguing is that the Congress and the BJP don't agree too often. But there are two contexts in which I've seen these parties agreeing. One is Delhi, when there were raids, ED raids at Manish Sisodia's residence in context of what has been called the liquor scam. And the other is in the context of Punjab, where indeed the Congress and the BJP are in agreement that there is, in fact, no legal provision for the assembly to be called just for the benefit of a trust vote bypassing the governor. ये कांग्रेस बीजेपी की यारी दोस्ती एकदम से जब आम आदमी पार्टी की बात आ जाती है डॉक्टर तयाल, हाउ डू वी अंडरस्टैंड इट?
Oh, Barkha, I think that's a very interesting way of looking at it. That if Aam Aadmi Party does something wrong and the other people say it is wrong, then you say, although it is wrong, but why are the two of you in agreement? Because the two of you can't agree, even if the what is being pointed out is wrong. Now, so
Okay.
that is quite an interesting observation. It is not a matter of BJP agreeing with the Congress against Aam Aadmi Party or something like that. It's a very simple matter of Aam Aadmi Party trying to take everybody for a ride and the governor telling them, sorry, that is not happening. So that is
What?
the primary issue here. Now, whoever, for a moment, what is very interesting is what I see is that the Aam Aadmi Party suffers from a dual delusion. So one is delusion of grandeur, and the other is delusion of or fear of persecution. I mean, with 92 people, 92 MLAs in a house of 117, you are saying that we are scared our government is going to topple. Is that the kind of confidence you got in your MLAs? I mean, what are we talking about? What Operation Lotus? A two-member party, somebody which has got two people, would possibly need some 61 more. 61. Is that the moral fiber of the Aam Aadmi Party MLA? I mean, are we really talking about Dal Street here? I mean, what are we really talking about? I can understand if the party is scared that they're on to the last MLA, one person, two people. But 61, is that the moral fiber that the Aam Aadmi Party is governing with? And then the comment, I mean, I'm sorry, there is all respect for Mr. Chadha, but the kind of comment that he has made, I think, does not behoove his intelligence. I mean, I can
Which
expect
comment?
that from a lot of others. The
Which
comment where
comment?
he says, the comment where he says that whether I discuss inflation or the fabulous lives of Bollywood wives in the Punjab Vidhan Sabha, is he really mocking the people of Punjab? What kind of a statement is that? That is, I think, I mean, a lot of Aam Aadmi Party people I would expect it from, but not from Mr. Chadha, who is a very well-read person. I mean, that
Yeah.
is not the kind of, you can't insult the people of Punjab like that, to say that, oh, I have got 92 people, I can even discuss a soap opera on the floor of the Vidhan Sabha.
Okay.
So the
Let me.
governor,
Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
Dr.
sorry.
Tyal. I'll just jump in here to bring in Sandeep. I'm also seeing Advocate Ravinder also with the Aam Aadmi Party joining us, but let me bring in Sandeep Ghosh. Sandeep, Dr. Dhirinder Tyal of the BJP makes a very interesting point. He says the Aam Aadmi Party is suffering from delusions of grandeur. Now, I put it to you that with the BJP focusing so much of its attention seemingly on the Aam Aadmi Party, isn't it adding to that delusion of grandeur if it is indeed a delusion? And Sandeep, just unmute yourself before you respond. Yeah.
Yeah, Marga, that may be true in some ways, but I don't know how the delusion of grandeur really gets into precipitating matters in the way they are doing. What I think Aam Aadmi Party, Aam Aadmi Party is very good at posturing and, what you would say in dramatics more than optics. So I think what they have discovered, to my mind, is we have heard of anticipatory bail, and they have discovered a new principle of anticipatory victimhood. So they kind of create an anticipation of victimhood, and then they play it on there, saying that, oh, they're out to raid my house, and so let me prove this. What you see again, I wouldn't repeat what Dr. Tyal has said, but Delhi, at least a 3-year-old government, and here in 6 months' time, you feel the need to prove something. If they had really the confidence, and even if assuming for a moment that any Operation Lotus or operations Bharat Jodo or something is happening, they should be able to say very clearly, yes, this is happening, but we are challenging you, kya karna hai karke dikhao. All my people are that way. Why do you have to go down and to the assembly and prove this? That is all a drama. They're doing it with a view to creating what I call this anticipatory victimhood.
But do you not think the governor denying them the first time around the kind of consent to hold the session, and the second time around saying, "Bhai, bataiye hame aap kya discuss kar rahe hain," actually in a way refurbishes their credentials of victimhood, because the governor is a titular head of a state. He's not the actual head of a state. We all know that, right, Sandeep?
See, something which governor may not have done for 75 years, I don't know, I'm not an expert in constitutional history, doesn't preclude him for doing something. But if you're doing, something like 5 din ke baad you've got assembly session starting, you say, I want to have a special session only for this purpose, when there is no crisis, nothing, then as Tyalji said very clearly, you've got such a humongous majority. Then what's the point? What Madam said just now, Chandar, something fishy. Now even the governor can smell some fish here. So it's not fish. Fish is not a prerogative of only Bengalis. Everybody can.
Yeah, there's also Amritsari fish which beats Bengali. Let me be parochial here. Let me be a parochial Punjabi here. Okay, look, you make an interesting point, and let me bring in Chandar. She's taking on both of you, since Advocate Ravinder we can't seem to be able to connect to. But Chandar, let me bring you in. A couple of interesting questions here have been raised. One is the convergence of all of the other parties in Punjab, right? It's the Congress and the BJP on the same page when it comes to the holding of the session. The second thing is the political question. You guys had a historic victory. This is not like Bihar, even, where it went down to the wire, where some MLAs moving here could actually alter the outcome of what happens in Punjab. It's a very, very handsome majority. Why the paranoia then, is the question being asked.
Okay, before I answer that, can I just clarify? There's a small breaking news that the government has written back to the governor saying that we are going to be discussing GST, stubble burning, and electricity in this session on the 27th. Also, if I can just read out from that letter.
Yeah, please do.
Without prejudice, the government proposes to take up legislative government business, which inter alia includes burning issues of GST, stubble burning, power scenario, etc., for consideration of the state legislature as conveyed via the memo on 24th and in the department. In addition, business on different issues as per notices received from the honorable members may also be taken up during the session as per relevant provisions of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Punjab Vidhan Sabha. So this is just a breaking.
But can I ask you?
Yeah.
Can I ask you? This doesn't actually tell me whether there will be a trust vote or not. This doesn't actually tell me that, right?
Yeah.
So
So
will there
it
be
says
one?
that
So will
any
there,
other,
so will there be one?
it's possible, and it may not even happen, because even if the government were to vote on any of the discussions which are happening, that itself is a trust vote, isn't it? So I mean, you don't really have to do a proper confidence vote as such. If there is any bill, if there is any other matter on which there's a discussion and the government wishes to have a vote on that, that's as good as a trust vote. That's one. But the other issue which you were saying, talking about that, well, here the Aam Aadmi Party has a huge majority, and they don't really need to fear anyone poaching their MLAs. There has been a very clear attempt to do so. So that itself is a giveaway. And any party for that matter, I mean, let's assume that 12 MLAs have been approached by allegedly by the BJP, and they've been offered. I mean, they've been offers of this and that. Even if 10 decide to stray and buck
Yeah.
what is that, the disqualification law, it's still it's still not good news for any party. No one would be happy seeing this kind of an erosion of their MLAs. Today it is 10, tomorrow it could be some more. And then here you have the Congress party saying very openly in press conferences that a certain amount of people are prepared to join the BJP from the Aam Aadmi Party, and then there are a certain amount of others who have approached the Congress also. And then there is also this talk that some Congress MLAs also might cross over to the BJP, and already we have seen that the BJP
Yeah.
has managed to attract a fair amount of senior Congress leaders. And the latest we've seen is Captain Amrinder Singh, though he had floated his own party, but he was originally a congressman, and we know
Right.
Sunil Jakhar for that matter, and so many others. So here you
Right.
have you have Congress leaders prepared to jump ship and join the BJP, and the talk is that, well, a certain amount of AAP MLAs, if they also join hands, and then where
Okay.
it takes this ship is
Okay.
another thing. But there is a
Let's
clear attempt.
Okay, now you have given us this breaking news of how AAP has responded to the governor, but you have also acknowledged that given that there is this wide sort of phrase, a kind of catch-all phrase that notices by members could be taken up, this could include a demonstration of majority on the floor, right, Chandar? Ravinder, can you hear me? Ravinder ji, tell me if you can
Yeah,
hear
I
me.
can hear you.
All right. Do you want to add? Do you want to add to this? You're a lawyer. There's a great legal debate at the heart. You're of course also an AAP spokesperson, but there's a legality here. I'll go to Dr. Tayal in just a moment. But the BJP, the Congress, and other parties are all in agreement that there is no legal reference for holding a special section of the assembly just for the purposes of a trust vote bypassing the governor. Would you care to respond to that?
बरखा, you might have seen in past years 18 बार पार्लियामेंट ऐसा कर चुकी है. तो जब कभी नई लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज भी बनती है, नई स्टेट भी बनती हैं, जिनके पास अपने रूल्स नहीं होते हैं, तो वो उस प्रोसीडेंट से को फॉलो करती है जो पार्लियामेंट करती है, उन नॉर्म्स को फॉलो करती है जिसमें पार्लियामेंट इन्वॉल्व होती है. तो अगर पार्लियामेंट ऐसा कर सकती है, तो व्हाई कांट द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली ऑफ पंजाब? तो पंजाब में ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया जा सकता? और सबसे बड़ी, आई एम वेरी वेरी मच अग्री विद ऑल द पैनलिस्ट कि हम लीगैलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं. क्या गोवा में बीजेपी ने ऐसा नहीं किया है बरका? क्या कर्नाटका में बीजेपी ने मिशन लोटस? आप हैशटैग एक सर्च कीजिए, आप फेसबुक पे एक हैशटैग सर्च कीजिए मिशन लोटस, आपको 50 तस्वीरें आ जाएंगी जिसमें अलग अलग जगहों पर मिशन लोटस के तहत बीजेपी के लीडर्स ही ज्वाइन करवा रहे हैं. तो क्या वो मिशन लोटस पंजाब में नहीं चल रहा? क्या वो गोवा में रिसेंटली देखिए क्या हुआ, कर्नाटका में नहीं चला, मध्य प्रदेश में नहीं चला. और मैं इस बात को बार बार कहता हूं कि व्हाई नॉट ऑन द स्टेज ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव, हम यहाँ पे बात कर रहे हैं, किसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे तो बात कीजिए इस मिशन लोटस के खिलाफ.
रविंदर जी briefly, because I have to go to Sandeep and Dhirinder, but आपको क्यों ये जरूरत हो रही है, if you're secure of your MLAs, to demonstrate this trust vote, क्यों जरूरत हो रही है, Ravinder? Okay, I don't think he
I'm
can
not
hear me.
able to.
Okay, hang on. We'll come back
What's
to
the
you.
question?
The question is, why do you feel the need to have this trust vote at all if your MLAs are secure and loyal to you?
Because we want to expose the BJP, the mission lotus of BJP. We want to expose the same on a constitutional platform.
All right, Dr. Tyal. Dr. Tyal, it seems reasonable to say, look, the BJP has done this successfully, toppled government successfully in Goa, in Karnataka. You may not be able to topple the government in Punjab, but certainly there's an attempt, as Chandar argues, to wean away part of the MLAs. How do you respond?
Barkha ji, I think, allow me to use this word, but this whole talk of Operation Lotus in Punjab does not just border on ridiculousness, it crosses all limits of ridiculousness. And for a simple reason why I have already told you, the simple math there, why would BJP, for a moment, let me grant it to them, but why would the BJP want to do it? Is that the kind of confidence they have in 61 of their MLAs? Do the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs lack all black backbone? Is that what they want to talk about? Two, it has been said that the MLAs have been approached. Now, the history of this party, we are getting into the history. The history of this party is that in Delhi, 2 SIMs were given to a gentleman called, or let me get the name, Paramjit Singh Katyal, who was the state secretary, who was the secretary of Aam Aadmi Party, and 2 SIMs were given to him that please make calls to all the MLAs, say you are calling from Mr. Gadkari's office, and find out are these people approachable, drill a fear psychosis into it so that they don't understand where the call is coming from. Is that it? So to say 12 people were approached, I'm sure the 12 people were approached by Aam Aadmi Party itself, and the SIMs were given by them themselves, because they've been talking about we have the data, we've got the evidence, we're going to be giving it when God alone knows. So that is the primary thing. The BJP would not want to get into this act at all. Two, I think they're trying to play a very smart one with the constitution. Now, the chapter 12 of the Vidhan Sabha Acts and Rules talks about a no confidence motion. Whoever heard of a confidence motion? That my own people want me to prove my confidence. What is there, and your viewers should know this, is that they want to ensure that they can tie everybody down for 6 months, because a no trust motion cannot come in for another 6 months. So they are the ones who are trying to play with the law. They're trying to skirt the law, trying to pull out a loophole, at the same time talking this is not legal. What they are doing is neither legal nor ethical.
Let me bring in
Forget
Sandeep.
about moral.
Okay, very strong words there. But Sandeep, let's look at the politics of it. The politics of it is the Aam Aadmi Party is constantly saying now that we are the only people the BJP takes seriously as a counter to it. You hear the AAP say this again and again. Given the loggerheads that the BJP and the AAP are at in the capital, now Punjab, right? Will it? I'm just thinking of this politically, and you're a student of politics. You will analyze this, I think, dispassionately. Is the BJP making an error here? Is it in some ways playing? If you say the AAP script is built on anticipatory victimhood, isn't the BJP playing right into that script here? Sandeep, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Barkha, possible, but whether BJP is making a mistake or AAP is making a mistake in playing this anticipatory victimhood far too often, another thing that's, I think, for people and posterity to judge. Here, I'd like to take the discussion slightly different and to some extent, kind of playing not the AAP advocate, but the devil's advocate in a larger sense. But before that, when I go in there, I want to point out what Chandraji has said, that a simple passing of a bill, other bills itself, is also a proof of your majority. You don't need to really get into another specific confidence motion, etc., to prove it. And that's going to happen. If there was an issue there, if some bill didn't get passed, then you can go ahead and say, no, I need to do a separate confidence motion, or the opposition may ask for it, and you prove it. So this, I think, is redundant. And as I said, it is merely certain optics and gamesmanship which is happening. So let's put that aside. But where I wanted to bring in a different perspective is, if you see a pattern today, in the non-BJP states, there seem to be a very, a pattern of confrontation between the governors and the government. We saw that in West Bengal, though finally it ended in all, Bhaichara.
She voted for him as vice president, Mamta.
Finally, We are seeing that in Kerala just now. We have seen bits of it, or we're still seeing bits of it in Tamil Nadu. This seems to be happening on in a pattern. And so whether that's a pattern, where the governors take a very, very legalistic position, where BJP doesn't step in directly, but while staying within the straight and narrow path.
But do you really believe that? Because in our country, under all governments, the governor have been seen as a political appointee. No one really looks at the governors as dispassionate, non-political entities.
No, that's right. But you see, in the past, what has not happened, Barkha, in a coming to a crunch or in that situation, a governor has sided one way or the other. But you have not had this chronic, friction between the governor. And I'm not saying, I'm just being proper to say that I wouldn't say a governor is acting at the behest of certain, whether it's the Home Ministry or whosoever from there. So they are acting as per the rule book, but clearly they are taking a very, very different stand than what has happened earlier. I don't know whether
But you have raised a very important question that I want to take to Chandar, because in fact, Chandar actually referenced it herself, that you can pass a law and demonstrate, you can pass a bill and demonstrate that you have the majority. Sorry, Sandeep, you want to add before Chandar comes in? Yeah, okay, Sandeep.
Point the pattern. It is the same kind of confrontation which you see between the LG and the CM in Delhi. So that seems to be a certain, format on which the game is being played now.
Okay, Chandar, I think that there's an important question here. Majority is also established through legislative business. The AAP response to the governor, which you read out to us, is talking about that legislative business. The legislative business by itself would demonstrate that majority. If anyone abstained in the AAP or if anyone cross-voted, people would get a sense that perhaps a certain amount of defection has or is taking place. Why do you need a special tam-jam, as it were, of the trust vote, is the question being asked.
But that's not, but the government has clarified today that this is not what it is doing. It has listed the 4-5 subjects which is on which there will be a discussion in the assembly session on the 27th, and any other business which always happens in any session. MLAs are allowed to raise anything else that they wish to, which is always there in any other Vidhan Sabha session. So there's nothing unusual about it. They have very clearly said GST, stubble burning, electricity, etc., which are the burning issues in Punjab today. But I'll just take you back again to a small thing which probably your viewers don't know, on why the Aam Aadmi Party is a little suspicious about the motives of this governor. On the 12th of September, Governor Banwari Lal Purohit visited the border districts of Gurdaspur, Pathankot, Taran, Firozpur, Fazilka, ostensibly to take stock of the security situation over there, the drones coming in. But while he was there, he met a lot of sarpanches, he met a lot of local people, he met the local officials over there, and the issues that he raised were about illegal mining and how there's a lot of illegal mining happening in the border areas and how that is a security threat, which is fine. Well, as the governor, he could. But as if on cue, the very next day, the opposition party, especially the leader of the opposition, Pratap Singh Bajwa, attacked the government, quoting the governor that this is what the governor is saying, that there is a critical situation on the borders because of the Bhagwant Mann government's lapses over there, etc. Yeah. So it was as if it was happening in tandem. Immediately after the governor's statements, etc., the leader of the opposition also.
So are you alleging that the Congress,
and the BJP are working
and the Akalis?
Together? Yes, I'm sure. The Akalis are also in cahoots in this whole scenario, and we can see all of them. In fact, somebody even went to the extent of saying, I mean, I wouldn't really push that, but somebody went to the extent of saying that the press notes of the Congress and the Akali Dal are also being drafted by the BJP, although, I mean, that's another thing, possibly in a lighter vein. But I'm just talking about the perception that is building up in the countryside and how people are talking on social media, etc.
But isn't the bottom line, Chandar, that you have so many numbers that surely you don't believe your government is in danger?
Well, it may not be because I mean, which we can see that the MLAs are, but we have to prove it on the floor of the house that, well, yes, all the MLAs are together, and that this Operation Lotus, which the BJP is trying to pull off, well, we've seen that they have been successful in other
Okay.
states, but here, I mean,
yeah.
if at all there is going to be an erosion, the Aam Aadmi Party will certainly try to check it.
Okay, I did want Dr. Tyal to respond to that, but I'll go to Sandeep first. I can see that at a back end that he's trying to reconnect. Oh, there he is. Dr. Tyal, do you want to quickly jump in while we have your network working? Dr. Tyal, go ahead if you can hear me.
Yeah, now I can, but I missed the question.
Basically, the point being made was about how the governor went to the border areas, and immediately there was a kind of statement from Pratap Singh Bajwa, the Congress opposition leader, siding with the governor. The allegation being the Congress, the BJP, the Akalis. There is a kind of convergence here with the governor being a proxy for this opposition political agenda in Punjab. Do respond.
So again, once again, what I started with, I mean, that delusion of persecution. I mean, what are they talking about? There are 92 of them. Everybody in the world in Punjab can get together. You're still too huge. Get on and do some work out there. Don't just say I'm being persecuted. Don't be a bechara with 92. How many do you need to get rid of that bechara tag? I don't understand. The people of Punjab have given you immense love and trust. Live up to it rather than crying the same bogey that you've been crying all the time in Delhi. What are we doing here? I mean, the governor, what is the... Okay, simple thing. They're talking about the governor is in cahoots with God knows who, and he's going against the law. Simple question to Chandarji here. Can she commit to me that the Aam Aadmi Party is not going to use this session clandestinely to bring in a trust vote?
Okay, before Sandeep gets the last word, I think, Chandar, that's a very direct question. And at this line, don't be a bichara with 92. Do respond to both. Hang on,
Nobody
Chandar's
to
on mute.
comment
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
I'm
go
really
ahead.
no one to comment on what will be decided, what will be done in the Vidhan Sabha, because firstly, I'm not an MLA, neither am I a member of the committee which decides all this. So I really cannot comment on that. But yes, certainly, I think we have answered quite emphatically why, despite having 92 MLAs, we still feel that because the BJP is constantly tinkering, constantly trying to create trouble through the office of the governor and even otherwise, by calling up our MLAs, by threatening them, luring them, etc. So this is something to be worried about, and this kind of rhetoric really doesn't wash down that, oh well, you have a brute majority, etc., etc. We have seen how the BJP operates behind the
Okay.
scenes in many other
Okay, but
states.
just for context, we're talking about 92 versus what 23. So the point is, huh? No, that's well, I mean, the point is, even if everybody got together, is basically the point here. If everybody else got together, is the point I'm making. But go ahead, Sandeep. Last word to you. The politics of it. Look, there's Himachal coming up. There's Gujarat coming up. The Aam Aadmi Party has an eye on both of these states, right? This is not a Punjab story alone. The Aam Aadmi Party's narrative is the BJP is out to get us because they're scared of us. I want the last word from you on that.
Yes, Barkha, there is what I would say, there is too much of narrative setting happening by all our political parties today. And I think people, as to some extent Dr. Tyal said, people need to now focus on governance. There are several issues, and I'm not singling out any state. Punjab, which is, better, has got several very, very crying issues, including its own financial management. And let them focus on that. I'm very glad they're talking about stubble burning and those relevant issues. Let them focus on that and fight the elections as they have fought with a straight bat. And that holds true for Aam Aadmi Party as well as BJP. They don't really need to get onto the secondary, catch onto straws to fight the election in Gujarat, taking a Punjab straw and vice versa, or something in Himachal. Let people get down to good old-fashioned, serious, governance business, and give the country also respite.
I have a feeling that we are going to see more than fireworks on the 27th. I don't think the last word on this confrontation has been spoken yet, but we'll leave it there for now, giving Sandeep the last word. Sandeep Ghosh, Dr. Dharinder Tayal, Chandrasutta Dogra, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And to our audience, see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.